the biggest match that the Kings of Wrestling were involved in was a 6-man bout at Turning Point 2004 TNA pay-per-view against Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, and I remember this was a huge deal at the time. The very last match of Macho Man Randy Savage, who had come out of retirement, who
Macho Man,
about 4 years at this point. Talk about the process of getting Savage to wrestle again.
I think that took some money, because he didn't want to wrestle. He didn't mind appearing on the show. He didn't mind appearing doing the commentating. He was always very vain about how he looked. So, and even when he came out, he had a hell of a suit on, I think.
No, he had like an all black.
He had all black
thing. He had like one of like the stagehands when he came out.
Man in Black.
Well, I thought, well,
I remember when remember that was those one of those early TNA the DVDs first came out. I think I had that somewhere. And it was a young AJ Styles and a young Jeff Hardy. Yeah. The next thing you know, they was getting beat up real bad, and Savage came walking out there and laid him out. Yeah, I remember that. He had like I think for a while he's wearing like the all black and the long black coat and the hat. Cause I remember when he was in WCW, I think the last 2 years of WCW, Savage had got built. Yeah, he was. Yeah, cause I remember he was in the Spider-Man movie, wasn't he? It was a built Macho Man. He was built rough with it. Because Savage was always smaller, but yeah, that last 2 years of WCW, he got real big.
from what I saw, I thought he had like a little bit of a knockoff of a Elvis suit too. But why was he late coming to that match? Remember, he was way late.
I remember the Kings of Wrestling. Those outfits were
I don't know the
horrible.
reason that they couldn't get him to come, or he said he wouldn't come, and they tried to get out of it. No, you saw the match, so it's going to be 3 versus 2. So it was the Kings of rock and roll, or whatever it was, versus who was it? AJ and who?
Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy, yeah. But Savage wasn't there, so it was 3-on-2 most of the time. And then finally he came out, and at the very end, of course the people popped when he came out. Then he got the tag and came in there and cleaned house, and 1, 2, 3, and ends up actually beating Jeff.
What do you think of Savage's performance in that match? It was basic.
It was not there that long.
That's all he wanted to do. And Jeff, to keep the peace, says, "Go ahead and beat me. Just beat me." And so Hall and Nash didn't get pinned. And I don't think we ever saw Hall after that again anyway.
I think he came back in like 2010 briefly.
Yeah, he came back.
Yeah, but this
he left. But yeah, I think
I remember that.
2010.
Yeah,
okay.
Shortly after this,
They had a Hall and an X-Pac came in, and they kept getting kicked out. It was a setup to get Hall and Nash all back together or something like that. And Nash was teaming up with with Eric Young or something like that. And I think Nash had turned or something like that. It's X-Pac and I just said his name, had a match or something. I remember I had some of that. Yeah, that was old. I had some of that on when I had the DVD recorder. Recording the TNA. Back then I was watching it regular. I want to say from 2009 and 2011 or something like that. He was watching it regular. And that's when they brought in the guy from the video game and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I was watching it regular back then. The main event Mafia stuff. Yeah.
But I think Jeff, to keep the peace, said, "Take it on me," and Of course, when the heels got beat, they left, and the baby faces were standing tall in the ring. But I kind of felt sorry for Jeff in that. He did all the work for that team and got beat.
Oh, 04 to
And he owned part of the company.
04 to
He does the
2011.
job.
My bad. Oh.
So he wanted it to go.
4, 5, 6. About several years.
But anybody who knows anything about wrestling, getting beat is not the worst thing. You know, you can always be rejuvenated. You can be revived. And we did revive Jeff later on, not too long after that. So I respect him for that.
If you were to guess roughly how much do you think Savage made for those appearances, have you got any idea?
I have no idea, but I would say, and I'm probably way, way wrong, but
This is Macho Man. Come on,
10 grand,
he probably got paid good.
maybe more. It was a pay-per-view, wasn't it?
It's a Macho Man.
Maybe 20.
You must have seen Spider-Man, the original one, where Savage is in it briefly for a couple of minutes and he goes, "Bonesaw is ready!" and he fights Spider-Man in the cage.
Yeah.
He looked amazing in that film. I mean, that was like the biggest he's ever looked. And then like just 2 years later for Turning Point, I mean, he's got like a full long sleeve sweater on, all in black. I hate to say it, but he's just completely gone. You know, follicularly challenged at that point.
Even when he went to the ring for the match, even when he went to the ring in this match we're talking about, he was almost completely bald.
Yeah.
And he had his hair dark.
Had it in a ponytail.
Well, yeah, he had a little bit of a ponytail. He could have the thing, the hair in the back, the mullet.
We call it a skullet. You know, the Hulk Hogan thing.
But all the top of his head is kind of gone, no hair.
And I was so bummed out because, like, you know,
It's
like,
weird
so
seeing
Hulk
Michael with the
Hogan,
bald
he
head.
aged really quickly in the space of like 2 years there. So I don't know what happened at the
I
time.
think he died not too long after that.
No, he died about 7 years afterwards. He died in like 2011.
Did he?
Yeah. He actually
20
looked
what?
better.
20 what?
Like 2011 he died. He actually looked better. Like
I don't
around
think he died.
2010.
Look up when he died. I was still in TNA when he died, I think.
No, I think it. Hang on. I'm going right. Randy Savage. I'll do it on my phone, and then we'll call it a day on the podcast. May 20th, 2011.
Really?
Yep. So that was about good 18 months plus after you left TNA.
I'm in an alternate universe.
He looked better when he balled it out and just let it all go grey in a big bit. He looked better then. So for whatever reason he wasn't hitting the gym. But anyway, and then he would never wrestle again after this match. So on that note,
What I think happened to Savage toward the end, he finally married his high school sweetheart. You read that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Married on the beach.
And I think he was, for the first time in his life, and I know Randy pretty well, I think he was truly happy. And I'm glad for that. So when he had the heart attack or whatever he had, and he hit that tree, at least
that was
he had
horrible.
happiness.
That was
right before he
terrible.
died. So
I've never asked you this. When was the last time you spoke to Randy?
well, it was before he died.
Well, yeah, I'd hope so.
Randy, sorry, I just had to get that in there. But the last time, I guess when he was in that run in TNA, that's the last time because he was living in Florida. And usually when I get away from guys,
That sucks. He never came back to
I don't call them up.
WWE.
I know them.
He did sort of, but
If I
not.
need to call them, I mean, I can call them, but as far as staying in close contact, I never stayed in close contact with him. But probably last time I talked to him is actually during that period that we showed that tape when he had that 6-man tag in TNA.
something, boy. Cause that I was saying that sucks. He never came back to WWE or WWF to WWE. Now he came back some. It's when he did the action figures, and I think he was in the video game a couple of times. That's usually not all the time. Usually means they're coming back because like Warrior was in the video game. Next thing you know, he was back. Goldberg was in the video game. Next thing you know, he showed up. You know, so yeah. He didn't get to give his Hall of Fame speech and all that. I believe if that all didn't happen with the accident, he would have been back. And so that sucks, man. But yeah, I remember the TNA. Like I said, I watched TNA because off and on, he was watching it back then because it was on a different channel. Then I remember I thought it was I watched off and on, and then I really got watched it was 07 to I said 04. But after 04, I really got into it 07 to 2011, something like that. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, like 5-6 years, something like that. And Kurt came in there, and Booker, and Sting came. Well, Sting was there twice. He left and came back, and then the first time he was there, he had like a couple of matches, and he came. But well, that sucks, man. Because Savage got him back in there, because he would have been back in WWE, not wrestling, but he would have been back, probably doing something. This accident. That was rough.